Good evening. Today's a little awkward because I got busy doing some other things and realized it's 9 o'clock and I have to put a video up for today. Fortunately, I had one from the other day when me and Big Daddy were walking dogs about how we met. So that's going to be the video for today. Since I'm doing overnights at someone else's house, time got away from me. So here's how me and Big Daddy met. I have a special treat today while I'm out walking. Big Daddy's walking with me today. So I'm gonna see if he'll play along.
Oh boy.
What's the story of how we met?
What do you want to know?
How did we meet? I'm not doing a good job of holding this. Come on.
As a few years ago, we were online playing a game back before there was 3D.
What kind of game?
It was called a MUD, multi-user dimension.
Text-based.
Multi-user dungeon, text-based, yeah.
Text-based, no pictures, just words.
Now, you're read and typed. It's actually probably where I got so good at typing without looking at the keyboard, actually. Moons and moons and moons ago. But you and I ran into each other when a friend of ours asked that I help you out one night, and we started playing and just had a great time, great conversation, loads of laughs. I don't remember if it was that night or the night after, or whenever. It was not too much after that. You know, we actually started talking on the phone, and I was just utterly amazed at this amazing woman who didn't seem to sleep at all, ever. There might have been like a half hour I couldn't keep up, that's for damn sure, and just utterly blew my mind. And I asked her to marry me before we ever actually met in person.
I thought he meant to marry him in the game.
Yeah.
Which I was a total social climber, and I married every character in that game.
And then, you know, I used that contractually to leverage her into actually marrying me.
Yeah.
That's right.
So to elaborate, oh my God, he's a terrible storyteller.
I'm an awful storyteller.
My character was Darby. And Darby, God bless her, she was a monk, the most horrible monk in the game. But what a fighter. Would never back down. Like, everybody would be like, just stop. I'd be like, no, and just go and just fight and fight and fight and fight. And James was Anubis. That was his character. And your last one was a predator.
Anubis
Started out as a predator.
Ended up being a thief / Catan.
Oh yeah, you were a bad guy. And oh my God, that's right, because I would auto you. Oh my God, so much. I don't know if you have you ever played like D&D? It was like D&D, basically, was what it was. And there was different characters that you could play, and then as you got higher and higher in levels, then you could add skills. So a monk always went with a fighter. I mean, that was it. That was the only thing you could class with. But like a mage could be a fighter. A mage could cross with a couple of things. Neither here nor there. But here I was, you know, basically running around with this. I hadn't even made High Mortal yet, I don't believe. And he was probably already a legend. And
we didn't legend you until you got handling.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Snowy day.
Yeah. So I didn't even legend until I moved to New York. And so I don't even think I was high mortal yet. And you do macros. And with a macro, if you did follow, his character could do a follow, and then I would just, everywhere he went, I would go. And then with macros, which were these short commands, so long commands shortened into 1 or 2 keystrokes to make it faster to type. And so I would follow him, and then he would set up all the macros, and I would watch these scrolling. Oh my God, it would scroll so fast. And I would watch all the words, and I would see like him attack, and then I would macro, and I would assist in the attack, and then I would get part of the experience. And then not only part of the experience, but then, whatever loot was left over. And so he would just drag me. We even had it set up, you could set up your macros where you could just log on and hit 1 keystroke, and you would do round after round after round after round. You didn't have to be sitting in front of your keyboard. It would just generate and just go. And I don't even remember, like, his character could cloak, basically. So he would be hiding in the room. And then, I'm in there fighting, and the next thing I would see is, like, Anubis smiles, scare the crap out of me, or he would sit in there and wait, and I would kill, and then he would grab all the loot and run. So I got experience when I'm getting the loot. And you had to get the loot because you had to have money. So you could buy weapons, get them sharpened, maintained, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of intricate in a lot of ways, and kind of not in others. And so, I don't know, we'll just pick one, just for sake, the Hydra. No, you weren't fighting the Hydra. Well, basically, so pretty high-end monster, and I went flying in because I could go fly in and start the fight and then run back out of the room and fly in and like fight and run out of the room and heal, and it would auto me. So it would take a half an hour to do 1 kill, but I would just have to go in and tick, 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 and then run back out and just like, tink, tink, tink with the little sword, and then run back out, tink, 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 and run in and run out. And James happened to run in, and because he was on his route right as I ran back in, and so it autoed him, which means when I ran in to attack the monster, I attacked him, and he squashed me, just like boom. Like there was no getting away. There was not even time to react. I was dead. And then it announces to everybody, Darby's dead. And I was like, no. Oh my God, no. Because I was always dying, because I was always fighting, and they would always feel bad for me. And I would never accept a res, which means somebody could come by and grab my corpse and they could resurrect me, and I would never accept it because I thought it was cheating. So I would lose a whole level and just start all over again. Oh my God. And he felt so bad. So he's like, all right, I'm going to get this back for you. So they didn't resurrect me, but basically he tethered me to himself, and off we went. And just the experience, it was like ridiculous. I would hit refresh and I'd be like, oh my God. It's like, how does this even happen? And then we started talking. And then I think another time, that was when I was married to Dark Angel. Mm-hmm. And Dark Angel, because we were in a guild. We were something.
Serpents, I think.
I was never a serpent.
Something.
You might have been a serpent, but I was never a serpent.
I was everything but the lame one.
I was the good one. I don't, freedom fighter, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was a freedom fighter married to like the king of the serpents or something ridiculous. Social climber. How was that? Well, it's not sugar-coated. I was a fucking whore. But so Dark Angel had to go to, he was like going to PT school. Something, like, in real life. And so he told Big Daddy, he said, hey, keep an eye out on her. Because he knew what I was. He knew I was going to divorce him and I was going to go marry something else because he wasn't there to play his character, right? And oh my God. So
then because you were a serpent and I was a freedom fighter, like, he had to kill me because I was in the hall. And he was like, dude, don't do it. And like, bink, jumped into the hall.
Steal all your shit.
He's trying to steal shit. So he had to kill me. He had to. And he's like, dude, don't do it. You know, because we had already met then. So he killed me a couple times. And then we started talking because I was always in character. Always in character. And then there was a channel, OOC channel, if you wanted to say something that was out of character. But as far as just like chatting on these open channels, didn't do it because I wasn't there for that. I was there to play a game, immerse myself and get lost for a hot minute in a game. And then over private channels, we would talk. And we would talk, and we would talk. And you had Lobo. You had another character, Lobo. Amen. Yeah, Amen was a badass. And he asked me to marry him. And we talked on the phone forever, never. And so that was like January, February. And then in July, he lived in New York and I lived in Illinois, down in southern Illinois. And he lived in western New York. So in July, he helped move his sister from western New York down to Atlanta. And he took a bypass and he came up to see me for a day. And I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous. I'm 11 years older. He was a baby. He was 23.
I'm 10 years older.
I'm 11.
When you feel like it.
Yeah, whatever.
Sometimes.
So he was a baby. He was 23. And my buddy Polly was like, dude, do you know how old he is? I'm like, yeah. So he came up to see me. And when I saw him, I was like, holy cow. Like, this is the most beautiful thing I think I have ever seen. That is the most beautiful thing I think I have ever seen. And I wish
20 years ago.
20 years ago. And I just ran up and jumped on him and I was just like, please be you, please be you. Come on, Calican. Please be you. And it was him. It was him. And it was the next month, so he came in July. In August, I went up to see him. And in September...
And that Thunderbird, I don't know how it even made it up.
That Thunderbird, 91 Thunderbird, man. September, yeah, that was it. I packed my stuff and I moved. There's a whole other topic behind that as well. A lot of family conflict, and I understand why. But honestly, if I hadn't moved, I'd be dead. I would be dead right now. He saved my life. And we never dated except for online and over the phone. We never lived together. We never did anything. I just moved in. Was it bumpy? No. No more than anybody else. And we're still here 20 years later.
I don't think it was bumpy at all.
Nah.
We just had an awesome, fun ride.
Yeah. And we're still doing it. So, left it a little bit. Oh, choking out my spit.
Thanks for hanging out. Well, hope you have a great day. And remember, be peaceful. Be kind. It's important.